Guys, Brad Danger here, and this is it. Your last shot to win my 700 horsepower flame-spitting Bayside Blue GTR plus $10,000 cash. Right now, we have a mega multiplier and it's live, but once this ends, it's gone forever. Grab a shirt, grab an It's Lit sticker, or if you don't have time to shop, just grab a quick entry pack and bam, just like that, you are entered. Guys, it's the final days. This 700 horsepower GTR and $10,000 cash could be yours, but only if you get entered. So click the link down in the pinned first comment and get entered before time runs out. It's the affordable sports car of your dreams, a star of Tokyo Drift, and the very embodiment of Japanese performance. Born from the ashes of one of the greatest sports cars of all time, it set a new standard for cars in its segment. Because while it was stacked against some pretty fierce competition from the day it was released, nothing in the world was a blend of performance, style, and affordability quite like it. And today, it is the best value Z car on the market. Because while the older Zs are indefinitely awesome, and the newer ones outperform it, this is the cheapest way to experience everything Z. It's the full fat Japanese sports car experience, but priced like the dollar menu. And this, folks, is why you need a 350Z. Let's go. In 2002, Nissan saw a gap in the market for affordable sports cars. Sure, there was American muscle, but what if you wanted to do more than just go straight down a racetrack? You could get something German, but that required some pretty deep pockets, and all I got is lint. So what about something economical and reliable that had a fun factor? Well, enter the Nissan 350Z. This Z was crafted to bring back the joy of driving, drawing its lineage from Nissan's iconic Z cars, affordable, potent, and above all, an absolute blast to drive. It stepped onto the scene and immediately began leaving others in its rearview mirror. From the outside, the 350Z is a masterclass in Japanese sports car design. Sharp and aggressive, yet sleek and clean. It screams speed even when parked. It's got that hunker down, ready to pounce stance that just makes you want to push the pedal to that metal. And while the 350 might not be the most handsome Z car ever constructed, it's easily one of the most iconic. Inside, it's all about the driver. Everything is where it should be, just a finger's length away. The seating position, the way the wheel feels in your hands, it's all tuned for ultimate control and a truly immersive driving experience. And while interior materials are, well, no Mercedes, it's well thought out and functional. And the pod gauges that give a nod to the Z cars that came before are a nice touch as well. Under the hood, Nissan wasn't messing around. Its engine, the VQ, is one of the most reliable and beloved engines on the planet. What? You don't trust me? Well, it's been featured on Ward's 10 best engine lists, not once, not twice, not thrice, but 14 freaking times. And it sings like, well, it kind of sounds like Chewbacca playing a trumpet, actually. It's a 3.5 liter, 287 horsepower V6 that, come here, that's where the 35 and 350Z came from, by the way. And with nearly 300 horsepower on tap and Nissan's particularly sharp factory throttle mapping, these cars swing way above their weight. And paired with either a 5-speed auto or a 6-speed manual without any sort of direct injection or turbocharged complexity, the power delivery is simply sublime. But where the 350Z really shines is in the drive. Its near 50-50 weight distribution, rear-wheel drive layout, and well-tuned suspension offers the kind of thrilling, balanced experience that has to be felt to be believed. It's responsive, it's fun, and it's got that kind of seat of your pants feel that'll have you grinning from ear to ear. It's thanks in part to the Nissan's front midship or FM platform that locates literally everything, including the engine, in between the two axles, which means, yeah, technically your 350Z is a mid-engine car. Take that, Porsche. Now, fun fact for your next Cars and Coffee. To answer the question, why do you need a 350Z? Well, it's the perfect blend of power, handling, and affordability. If you love JDM or Need for Speed Underground, if you want access to the huge aftermarket to tune it to your heart's content, if you want to have a badass sports car that'll turn heads and smoke competitors at the track, even if you have a tap of Oppo, the 350Z is the car to buy. Remember, it's a sports car with a pedigree. Its legacy can be traced back to the legendary 240Z, a car that revolutionized the sports car market. Meaning, when you're driving a 350Z, well, you better feel like a badass because you're not just driving a machine, you're driving history. So, a beautifully balanced chassis with a smooth, charismatic, naturally aspirated engine and right-wheel drive. That all sounds really good, right? But let's be real. No car is perfect. That's why we have your favorite mechanic, Mr. Travier, who's gonna go through the quirks. So, what's not ideal, Trav?
If you've seen our Why You Need an Infiniti G Series video, it's mostly the same story here. Because while every car has its issues, there are two big ones for the Nissan 350Z. Like any car powered by a VQ engine, oil consumption is a consideration. And so are the timing chains. But that really seemed to only mostly affect the first few years of production. And even then, it's a problem that's been just as overblown as Porsche's IMS bearers. If you spend too much time on the forums, the general consensus is that the 2006 rev-up engine is the most problematic. But it's really hard to say how much truth there is to that. All VQ engines can experience excessive oil consumption, and they can all have timing chain tensioners and guides prematurely fail. Although, those parts were updated from 2007 onward. Like pretty much every car ever, maintenance is key here. A car that's had regular oil changes with good quality oil and filter is much less likely to have oil consumption or timing chain problems. There have been recalls for the cam and crank angle sensors and a recall for the fuel filler neck. There have been reports of the fuel damper failing, which will lead to a check engine light and an engine that runs less than ideal. And because it's a sports car, it has parts that can wear out faster due to spirited driving, especially the synchronizers in the earlier transmissions. But that's not super common either, and is pretty black and white. It either shifts nice and smooth, or it doesn't. All that aside, the 350Z is pure driving pleasure, and honestly, for the most part, these cars genuinely are super reliable. Just make sure you get service records and a PPI before buying one.
Top mods we love. And speaking of buying one, let's pretend you found the right car in the right color, with the right options, and all the right problems. Well, get a PPI, of course. So what's next? Mods, of course. The aftermarket catalog for the 350Z is endless. So the world is essentially your oyster when it comes to dialing in a 350 to your specifications. You want to build a drift missile? You got it. How about a weekend track toy? Absolutely. What about leaving it mostly stock and just enjoying it, as they are already pretty excellent cars as it is? Whew. Well, that's not my style, but it will gladly do that too. Seeing as it's naturally aspirated, upping power output isn't going to be cheap or easy, but there's always a but for every seat. You can unlock a few ponies with a cold air intake, full exhaust, intake spacer, and a tune. Just don't expect the world. You certainly can add a supercharger or even a couple of turbos, but we're talking several $1,000s here. So in my opinion, your money is better spent on a set of decent coilovers, sway bars, some lighter wheels, and maybe a brake upgrade. Oh, and don't forget the drift stick. It's a Z car, you gotta get a drift stick. So what do? Well, you fire up your mom's credit card and let your imagination run wild. Okay, and now it's time for the ideal 350Z. So back in 2003, the 350Z launched at a sticker price for a base coupe of $26,910 and went clear up to a hair under $38,000 for a fully optioned roadster. So it was never a cheap car, but you certainly got a lot for your money. Today, they range anywhere from, for an okay one, well, not looking at cars that have been totally smashed beyond repair more than once, or cars that spent any length of time underwater, you can get a decent, cheap example like this 2005 manual Roadster with 67,000 miles on it, or the most expensive, weirdly also a 2005 manual Roadster, but a near museum quality car with just over 3,500 miles on the odometer. So the average price for a well-sorted 350Z hovers around 15,000 bucks. So what is the ideal 350Z? Well, this is kind of a tough one because honestly, it's up to you. Me personally, I'd go for a later model, a 2007 to 2009 coupe with the shift it yourself manual because I wanted an updated engine and transmission. And ideally, it'd be painted in either solar orange, which I think just looks super sick, or Le Mans Sunset, which is the press color. Or maybe a white one. No, wait, blue. I've always loved this car in Daytona blue. I mean, it looks like it doesn't really matter. That's the thing about Z cars. The sky is the absolute limit. So go get yourself a late model car in whatever color that you want, or save yourself some coin and go buy one of the early ones. You can't really go wrong no matter how you slice it. Because whether you're looking for a first sports car or just want a fun weekend ride, the 350Z might just be the ideal car for you. Because remember, there's nothing quite like a Z. So, what do you guys think? You think the 350Z is your ideal car? Or do you think you'd be better off in a 370Z or something else altogether? Let us know in the comments below. I'll be reading your responses and responding in the first few hours of this vid. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe to Ideal if you're new, and turn on that notification bell, and go check out this vid up here or whatever YouTube recommends you watch next. In the meantime, I'm Brad, this is Ideal, and promise me one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.